A strange menu on planet Kalara. The planet Kalara was known across the galaxy for one thing: its food. Not just any food, but the rarest, most expensive, and most dangerous dishes in the universe. Some say the chefs cooked with flavors stolen from dying stars. Others whispered that the restaurant used living things. Logan, a quiet human traveler, stepped into the restaurant called Feast of Worlds. He wore a long black coat and had a small cut on his cheek from an earlier fight. He didn't care for aliens or their games. He only came here because someone told him, "If you want to taste something unforgettable, go to Kalara." The restaurant was dark and elegant. Blue flames floated in the air instead of lights. Tall alien creatures sat at silver tables eating quietly, their eyes glowing in the dim light. Some turned their heads when Logan entered but quickly looked away. A tall alien with green skin and 4 eyes walked toward Logan and smiled. "Human. Rare to see your kind here," the waiter said. "I heard your food is special," Logan replied calmly. The waiter chuckled. "Very special. Our chef offers experiences, not just meals." Logan was given a black menu. The items were strange: sky serpent soup, lava beetle legs, screaming flamefish. But one item caught his eye. R9, rare experience, only for the bold. No questions, no refunds. Logan pointed at it. "I'll take this. Satadi." Waiter raised an eyebrow. "You're sure?" Logan nodded. "Bring it." The waiter bowed slightly. "As you wish, human. Your dish will arrive shortly." Logan sat down and drank the cold blue liquid on the table. It tasted like mint and smoke. Around him, alien guests began whispering. Some looked nervous. One alien couple even stood up and left. Logan noticed, but stayed calm. After a few minutes, heavy doors at the back opened. 2 strong alien servers walked in, carrying a golden tray covered by a glass dome. Steam rose from it. The room went silent. They placed the tray in front of Logan. The waiter smiled strangely and said, "Enjoy your rare experience." With a quiet hiss, the dome lifted. Logan's eyes widened. Inside the tray was a living alien girl. She was small, maybe 18 in human years. Her skin was pale purple with glowing blue lines. Her wrists and ankles were chained lightly. Her eyes, bright green and filled with fear, locked onto Logan's face. She was breathing, shivering. Tears ran down her cheeks. She looked terrified. "What the hell is this?" Logan growled. "She is your meal," the waiter said proudly. "Uncooked, pure, the rarest flesh in the stars. You may eat, play, or keep her. Our chefs do not judge." Logan stood up fast, knocking over his chair, his fists clenched. "You think I eat people?" he shouted. "She is not a person," the waiter replied coldly. "She is property." But Logan wasn't listening. He looked down at the girl. She opened her mouth slightly. Then she whispered, softly, but in perfect English, "Please, don't let them eat me." Logan's eyes went wide. "What did you say?" he asked. She looked up again, scared but hopeful. "Help me, please." Before Logan could think, his hand moved. He flipped the tray, knocking the girl into his arms. The glass shattered. Screams filled the room, alarms rang out, red lights blinked. The kitchen doors burst open and guards ran in with stun spears. "Stop that human," one alien shouted. Logan grabbed a heavy metal plate and threw it. It hit the guard's helmet, cracking it. Then he ran, carrying the girl in his arms. He pushed past tables, kicked chairs, and smashed through the front glass door. Shards cut his arms, but he didn't stop. Outside, the streets of Kalara were dark and full of glowing signs. Alien crowds screamed and scattered. Logan ran into a narrow alley, breathing hard. The girl was trembling in his arms. "It's okay," he said softly. "You're safe now." But then something on her back caught his eye. A symbol, burned into her skin. It was a human symbol. A mark of a government lab on Earth. Logan's blood ran cold. "Who are you?" he whispered. The girl looked up at him and fainted. The whisper and the warning rain began to fall on the neon-lit alleyways of Kalara. Cold drops splashed against Logan's face as he held the fainted alien girl tightly in his arms. Her breathing was slow, but steady. She looked peaceful now, far from the horror inside that twisted restaurant. But Logan couldn't forget what. She whispered, "Please don't let them eat me." How did she know English? He ducked into a hidden door behind an old supply station. Inside was a dusty storage room filled with junk, broken android parts, rusted tools, and crates from forgotten worlds. He laid her down on a cloth and closed the door. His pulse raced. Alarms still echoed faintly in the distance. He looked at the strange burned symbol on her back again. A circle with 3 stars inside. Earth's Experimental Genetics Division. What the hell were they doing with her? Logan whispered. Suddenly she gasped. Her eyes opened wide. She sat up fast, breathing heavily. Logan grabbed her shoulders gently. "It's okay, you're safe." She stared at him, confused and scared. "You're human," she said softly. "Real human." "Yeah. And you're not food," Logan said, half smiling. The girl looked around nervously. "They'll come. The hunters. They always come." "Who? That restaurant?" She shook her head. "Not just them. Others. They think I'm a weapon. A secret. I escaped once. They put a tracker inside me." Logan's eyes narrowed. "A tracker?" Suddenly a red dot blinked on the wall. Then another. And another. He looked outside the tiny window. 3 black drones hovered in the sky, scanning everything. One of them paused, tilting toward their location. "Too late," she whispered. "They found me again." Logan didn't waste time. He pulled out a small device from his coat, an old signal scrambler, barely legal on most planets. He switched it on and slammed it against the wall. The device sparked, sending a pulse that fried electronics in a 50-meter radius. Outside, 2 drones crashed to the ground, smoking. But the third remained. "It's upgraded," Logan growled. "It's military." The girl stood up slowly, her legs shaking. "I can stop it," she said. "But I'll need your help." Logan raised an eyebrow. "You can fight?" She nodded. "Not like you. But I have something inside me." She reached toward her chest and pressed on her collarbone. Her skin glowed for a moment, and a strange holographic circuit lit up across her arms. "What is that?" Logan asked. "They built me to survive anything." A sharp buzzing noise cut through the air. The last drone fired a stun beam into the room, hitting the wall behind them. "We have to move," Logan shouted. The girl stepped forward. Her hands glowed faintly. "Cover me," she said. Logan didn't ask questions. He grabbed a metal rod and kicked the door open. The drone aimed again, but the girl raised her hand, and the beam bent in, midair, hitting a building instead. The drone tried to retreat, but the girl focused harder, and with a burst of bright light, the drone exploded midair. Smoke filled the alley. The sound of footsteps approached. Logan turned. "We need to disappear now before they send more." The girl grabbed his hand. "There's a place," she said. "An old lab, where I was born. I remember the way. We'll be safe there." "Maybe." Logan nodded. "Then lead the way." As they vanished into the maze of Kalara's backstreets, he couldn't shake the feeling that he'd just stepped into something far more dangerous than a dinner gone wrong. He didn't know her name. He didn't know the truth, but one thing was certain. This girl wasn't just rare, she was wanted, and now, so was he. Hunted by more than aliens. The night on Kalara grew colder as Logan and the alien girl, still weak but determined, moved through the shadowy underworld of the city. The stars above were hidden by smoke and neon fog. Below, danger crawled, in every corner. They reached the lower levels of Sector 9, a place even Law didn't go. The girl led him to a small maintenance tunnel behind an old power grid. Broken lights blinked around them. Logan kept checking over his shoulder. He had been hunted before. but never like this. As they rested inside the tunnel, Logan finally asked, "What's your name?" She hesitated. "Sierra," she whispered. "Sierra," he repeated. "I'm Logan. Why were you speaking English back in the restaurant?" "I don't know," she said, eyes wide. "They put languages in my head. I didn't ask for it." "Who's they?" She touched the burn on her back. "The ones who built me." Suddenly, Logan's old communicator blinked. A secure message. Only one person had this frequency. He opened the holo screen. A blurry face appeared. Rickon, an old contact from Earth's black market intelligence network. "You picked the wrong planet to get attention, Logan," Rickon said, voice tense. "You're being hunted, not just by Kalaran enforcers, but something bigger." "What do you mean?" Logan asked. Rickon leaned forward. "That girl with you, she's not just a bio-experiment. She's classified Omega level. The lab she came from, Project Silence, it was erased from records. They erased everyone who worked on it." "Why?" Logan asked. "Because she wasn't made to be a servant or a slave. She was made to adapt, survive, and evolve." Sierra looked up, afraid. Before Logan could reply, the screen glitched, then shut off. They were no longer alone. A low hum echoed in the tunnel. Blue lights blinked ahead. Footsteps. Many. Marching. Logan looked at Sierra. "Time to run." But before they moved, a mechanical voice boomed through the tunnel. "Logan Kane, hand over the asset. You have 10 seconds. From the shadows stepped a terrifying figure. A bio-tracker drone 2 meters tall, built like a tank with glowing red eyes and claws made for one thing, taking targets alive. It aimed a net cannon at them, but Sierra stepped forward. "I remember. This thing," she whispered. "It was there the night I escaped." "Can you stop it?" Logan asked. "No, but I can distract it." She opened her arms and her skin shimmered. The tunnel lit up with glowing waves from her body. The drone paused, its systems confused. Logan didn't waste time. He ran to the wall, grabbed a loose metal pipe, and slammed it into the drone's leg joint. Sparks flew. The drone swung back, hitting Logan in the ribs, knocking him into the wall. Sierra screamed and unleashed a wave of blue energy, sending the drone backward. It roared, smoke coming from its chest, but more footsteps echoed behind it. "More are coming," Logan yelled, limping to his feet. Sierra grabbed his arm. "There's an old sewer route under this tunnel. Follow me." They dropped through a broken floor grate, splashing into black water. The sound of chasing machines faded as they disappeared into the maze below. Down in the sewer, the air was thick and silent. Logan winced. His ribs were bruised. Sierra looked at him, glowing eyes sad. "I didn't want you to get hurt." Logan gave a weak smile. Too late for that, but even in pain he could see it clearly now. Sierra wasn't just a lab experiment. She was the center of a war he didn't understand, and the ones chasing her weren't aliens. They were humans. The chase through fire markets. Smoke and fire danced through the air as Logan and Sierra stepped into Kalara's fire markets, a black market district that never slept, even under threat. Neon flames hovered above the stalls. Strange music echoed through the alleys. Creatures from 100 planets haggled, shouted, and bargained for things that were illegal everywhere else. Logan pulled his hood low. His ribs ached, but he kept walking fast. Sierra followed close, her eyes wide with confusion. She had never seen a place so alive, or so dangerous. "What is this place?" she asked softly. "It's where people like me go when they need to disappear," Logan replied. "But tonight, even this place won't be safe." They slipped through the crowd, passing vendors selling energy weapons, fake identities, and bottled alien memories. One stall had glowing butterflies that screamed when touched. Another sold cloaking dust made from invisible lizards. Sierra paused. "How do you know this place?" Logan didn't answer. He just looked ahead, because at the far end of the market stood a tall figure, an armored bounty hunter with glowing orange eyes. His long coat swayed like smoke, and in his hand was a holo projector showing Logan's face. "Wanted for biotheft, alive. Heavy reward." Logan cursed under his breath. "They're here already. Sierra tensed. He's not just a bounty hunter. He's an enforcer. He works for the labs. Logan grabbed her hand. We're not fighting him in a crowd. They slipped into a side alley, moving past food stalls and molten glass artists. But then they heard it. A soft beeping. Logan looked up. Floating spy eyes hovered above, scanning everyone. One stopped. Zoomed in. The alarm sounded. Target located. Chaos exploded. Vendors screamed. Shoppers ducked. Guards swarmed in from every side. Logan pushed Sierra behind a crate. Stay hidden. He ran forward, straight at the nearest guard, grabbing a box of glass beads and smashing it in their face. Blinding light filled the air. Run! Logan shouted. Sierra ran, her feet moving faster than she thought possible. But a laser whip wrapped around her leg, pulling her down. A tall alien with forearms stepped forward. You fetch a high price, girl. Before he could pull her up, Sierra's skin lit up, and a shockwave blasted from her body. The alien screamed and flew back into a stall. The crowd froze. Everyone stared. Sierra's arms glowed with strange patterns. Her eyes burned bright blue. The bounty hunter stepped forward, slow and calm, but Logan appeared beside him, smashing a stolen plasma bottle over his head. The hunter stumbled, fire licking across his armor. They ran, through smoke, through fire, through broken stalls and overturned carts. They didn't stop until they reached a deep tunnel hidden under the market, a sewer grate with symbols only. A few people knew. Logan punched the code into a panel hidden behind vines. The grate opened. They dropped inside. Darkness swallowed them. In the silence of the tunnel, Sierra finally spoke. You saved me again. Logan sat down, breathing hard. It's becoming a bad habit. Sierra looked at her glowing arms. Something inside me is waking up. I didn't even know I could do that. Logan stared at her. What else are they hiding inside you? She turned to him. I think I was made to become something dangerous. Logan looked into her eyes. Then we find out the truth. Together. Memories of a hidden past. The deep tunnels beneath Kylara were cold, silent, and forgotten by time. Old machines lay broken on the sides. Pipes leaked steam. Moss glowed faint green on the walls. Logan's footsteps echoed softly as he followed Sierra deeper into the dark. She walked ahead, as if drawn by something calling her from inside the shadows. I've never been here before, she said quietly, but my feet know the way. Logan watched her closely. Are you sure? Sierra nodded. It feels familiar, like a dream I forgot. They reached a massive door made of black steel. No handles, no locks, just an old hand scanner covered in dust. Sierra stepped forward. The scanner lit up. Welcome, Subject 7. The door slid open with a long hiss. Inside was a ruined lab, broken tanks, cracked glass, flickering lights. It smelled like rust, smoke, and old chemicals. Dead silence filled the room. The air was heavy with secrets. Sierra walked to a broken console and placed her hand on it. Suddenly, a projection burst to life. A hologram of a human scientist, tired and scared. Project Silence Log 023. Subject 7's neural response is beyond prediction. She learns faster than programmed. She dreams. She speaks. Even things we didn't teach her. The hologram glitched, then continued. If you're seeing this, it means I failed. I tried to protect her, but the project was shut down. They turned her into property. Sierra's hands trembled. I knew his voice, she whispered. He was kind to me. Logan looked around. So you were made here? Sierra nodded. They called me an adaptive prototype. I was never meant to live a normal life. Just serve, obey, survive anything. She walked past the broken tanks. Inside one of them lay a shattered memory core. As she touched it, more visions flashed in the air. She saw herself as a child crying inside a pod. Scientists watching, machines testing her strength. One moment showed her screaming, her hands glowing blue, guards rushing in with stun rods. They tried to break me, she whispered. They said feelings were errors. Logan placed a hand on her shoulder. They were wrong. Then she turned and looked at him, eyes full of tears, but not weak tears, strong ones. She was remembering who she was and who she could still become. But suddenly the air changed, a voice crackled from behind them. Touching, truly, but playtime's over. Logan spun around, his weapon drawn. From the shadows walked a man in black armor, his face hidden under a silver mask, but his voice was human. I've been tracking her since the restaurant, the man said. You've made things messy, Logan. Sierra stepped back. Who are you? The man removed his helmet. He had Logan's face. Logan froze. What the hell? Clone? Sierra gasped. No, the man smirked. Better. I'm what he was supposed to be. Before he ran, before he went soft. He pointed at Sierra. Give her to me, or I'll take both of you in pieces. Logan raised his weapon. You'll try. The lab shook with sudden energy. Lights burst. Sparks flew. Sierra looked down at her hands. They were glowing again, but this time, stronger. The man charged forward. Logan blocked him, fist to fist. Metal clashed. Bones cracked. Sierra screamed, and the air exploded with a shockwave of blue light. The clone was thrown back, smashing into a wall. The lab started to collapse. Logan grabbed Sierra's hand. We have to go. Now. They ran through falling pipes and bursting lights. As they escaped through a side tunnel, the lab behind them crumbled into dust. Outside under the moonlight, Sierra whispered, He had your face, but not your heart. Logan looked at her. You're not the only one they created, Sierra. She nodded. Then we stopped them. Together. The lab's offer, and his refusal, a cold wind swept across the mountain edge where Logan and Sierra stood. Behind them, smoke still rose from the ruined lab. In front of them stretched the forgotten ridgelands, dry, silent, and dangerous. But what waited beyond the rocks wasn't nature, it was choice. A sleek black shuttle descended from the sky, silent and smooth. It hovered above the ground, and a silver ramp unfolded with a hiss. Logan raised his weapon. Stay behind me, from here. The ramp stepped a tall woman in a clean white coat. Her eyes were cold, her smile polite. She looked human but too perfect, skin too smooth, voice too calm. Logan Kane, she said. And Subject 7, how far you've both come. Sierra stepped closer, tense. I know her voice. I should. Hope so, the woman said. I raised you, I trained your mind. Logan frowned. You're from the lab? She nodded. I'm Director Val, the original creator of Project Silence. She looked at Sierra with something strange in her eyes. Not hatred, not love. Curiosity. You were never meant to escape, Val said softly. But you did. And now, I offer peace. Logan narrowed his eyes. Peace? Val turned to him. You're a fugitive, a thief, but we can erase your record, give you credits, freedom, even a new identity. And what's the price? Logan asked coldly. She smiled. Her. Sierra's face went pale. Logan didn't answer. Val walked slowly toward them. You don't understand what she is. We didn't just build her to adapt. We built her to replace. Replace who? Logan asked. Humans, Val said plainly. Sierra is the first of a new species, one that can live where we cannot, one that can fight, survive, reproduce, and without flaw. Sierra's hands shook. You lied to me, she said. I thought I was broken, but I was your plan. Val's smile faded. You were the plan, but you became something else. Something unpredictable. Then she turned back to Logan. Hand her over, and you walk away rich, alive, clean. The shuttle's engines hummed, waiting. Sierra looked at Logan, tears rising. If you have to go, I understand. Logan stared at her. Then he slowly stepped forward. Vol smiled, but Logan didn't raise his hands. He raised his blaster. You don't get to own people, not anymore. Before Vol could react, Logan fired straight at the shuttle's engine. The blast hit hard, sparks flew, the ramp exploded, the shuttle tilted sideways. Vol screamed as fire rose behind her. Run! Logan shouted. He grabbed Sierra and jumped off the ridge as the shuttle blew apart behind them. They tumbled down the slope, bruised and coughing from the smoke. When they stopped, Sierra looked at him, shocked. You gave up everything, she said. Logan coughed. I didn't lose anything that mattered. Sierra took his hand. I'm not just a project, I'm not a tool. No, Logan said, eyes locked with hers. You're a person, and now, we fight for your freedom. But deep in the ruins of the shuttle, a red eye blinked. Director Vol had survived, and she whispered into her comms, voice shaking with anger. Send in the collector. I want them both, alive. The girl who was supposed to die, the sky above the wastelands turned dark red as the twin suns of Kalara began to set. Dust storms howled across the cracked desert. Logan and Sierra took shelter inside a half-buried transport ship, forgotten by time and war. They had no food, no working weapons, and no safe place left to run. But they had each other. Sierra stared at the broken ship walls, eyes glowing softly in the dark. Her energy was unstable. Her body still burned from the last fight. She had pushed too far. Logan watched her carefully. You need rest. She shook her head. There's no time. He frowned. What's coming? Sierra looked toward the horizon. The collector. Logan froze. Everyone in the black markets had heard of it. Not a person, not a machine. A mix of both. A ghost wrapped in metal. It didn't hunt. It harvested. Anyone marked as valuable by the labs, it brought back. Alive or in pieces. Suddenly, the ship trembled. Something had landed. Logan stood up ready to fight. Then the door was torn off, ripped like paper. A tall creature stepped inside. Its face was hidden by a dark mask, and its arms were like long blades. It spoke no words. Only the sound of metal grinding filled the room. Target acquired, the collector charged. Logan jumped forward, striking with a metal rod. But it shattered against the machine's chest. The collector grabbed him, lifted him like a toy, and threw him into the wall. Sierra screamed. She ran to Logan, who was coughing, blood on his lips. Stay back, he shouted, but she didn't. She stood between him and the collector. Her skin began to glow, brighter than ever before. The machine paused, its sensors overloaded. Unstable energy detected. Sierra raised her hands. Power surged around her. Was made to adapt, to survive, to evolve. Her voice echoed like thunder. But I choose to fight. She unleashed a wave of energy so strong the walls cracked, the ground split. The collector screamed, its voice glitching, its metal burning. Then it exploded into pieces, fire and wires flying through the air. Silence returned. Sierra fell to her knees. Logan crawled to her side. You did it. She looked at him, weak but smiling. No. We did. Days passed. A rebel ship landed in the wastelands, answering the strange energy signal. Logan and Sierra were rescued and brought to a hidden human colony beyond Kalara. There, Sierra healed. And for the first time, she wasn't treated as a project. She was treated as a person. Logan stayed by her side. When the colony leaders asked what happened, Sierra simply said, I was supposed to die on a golden plate, but a human looked at me and saw life. Final scene. On the quiet hills above the colony, Logan sat beside Sierra, both watching the stars. She leaned on his shoulder and whispered, They built me to serve. He smiled. But now, you're free. No, she said, smiling back. Now I choose who I become. The stars above shimmered, and for the first time in her life, she wasn't afraid of what came next.